Yabba dabba doo. Hello, buddies. It's another late night, Friday, 6th December, 10:34 p.m. local time, Bengaluru. It's 21 degrees Celsius, but it doesn't feel so cold. It's mostly clear. I could see the moon today. Yeah, it's a beautiful night here, and we're going to do another podcast on books this time. Books is catching up with movies. I mean, it's still ahead. Yeah, so without any delay, let me give you the agenda for today's podcast. So we're going to talk about a new guest speaker who is arriving from our one of our clubs, and I'll give introduction to the guest speaker after our intro, and then we're going to talk about their favorite book and some fun activities. So without any further delay, let me start the podcast episode.
NWM YouTube.
Yup. You're listening to MWM Podcast. I'm MaddiE DawsoN, and I'm here for another podcast about books with a special new guest speaker. Uh, I've been making her wait for a long time, so let me just bring her on the stage. Snigdha, please give us a short introduction because you are a brand new guest speaker. So, yeah, please give us a short introduction.
Yeah, I'm brand new in podcast also, so I'm kind of scared. Yeah, I'm excited but scared, more scared. So hi Maddie, hi everyone. This is Snigdha. So I'm also from Bengaluru, and yeah, I love to read and I love to talk about books and the writings and the movies and the stories. So hope that I will have a wonderful time today.
Yeah, so one good news we've been having, at least I've been observing echo issues with my guest speakers in live podcasts. So today, somehow, because of Snigdha's luck, we rectified it and we can clear the guest speaker's voice crystal clear without any echo. I
Hopefully,
was
it's a good
I was
start for
wondering it's
me.
because of the guest speaker's mic problems or is it my? I know that it's my setting problem. So even I'm learning a lot of things. So today I was able to rectify it. Yeah, let's start with that good news. Okay, Snigdha.
Yeah.
We want to know about you, origin story. That's what I ask all the new guest speakers. So, when did you discover books, and did you straight away became a voracious reader? Because I know you're a voracious reader. You read a lot of
Yeah.
unique books, and you get in touch with the authors as well. So, when exactly did you discover the books, and when did you or what do you say, realize that books are so special and we have to read more, and you started reading more voraciously?
So I think I have started reading from the time I have actually learned how to read, right? From very early childhood. Because in my home, I'm from West Bengal. So in my home, we have a huge collection of Bengali books. My aunt, my like grandmother. My grandmother was not a very educated one. You can understand that how like times and about all those things,
Hmm.
but she used to read a lot, and she has like wonderful collection of Bengali books. So we still have. So I think yeah, I started reading books from very early. Actually, I started reading very early at my like according to my parents that I think I started reading like at the age of 4 or 5 kind of. So
Whoa. What
yeah,
did you
so I
read?
like okay, so my parents are teacher and like in a village and kind of thing. So they didn't have the libraries in their school. So all those books for the children, right? So those were kept in my home. So I had a huge collection of like children kids books also.
Okay,
So I
children
started
literature. Yeah.
yeah, I started reading everything, and later when I didn't have any book to read, because obviously because of the exams and all, the library's been shut down, and my mom used to keep it like lock and all. So I started reading I started reading those stories we have like for the pujas and all, right? We have some stories you have to read uh, after the puja and all. I started reading those also.
Okay.
So yeah, so reading is, yeah, I think I don't know anything other than how to read and try a little bit in writing. Yeah, that's the only thing I know.
Okay.
So yeah.
So straight away when you discovered books, you realized its value as well, and then you didn't stop till now. Is it?
Yeah, so what I understood one thing, and that when you are reading, so I love to read fiction mainly. Okay, I can't read non-fiction much. I'm not saying that I don't read it, but I read fiction mainly because I feel like that you can imagine a lot. I mean, each scene and each pages, each stories, you can imagine a lot, and I love to be in the fictional place instead of being in the real life. So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can understand. Bibliophiles will definitely comprehend that sentence. Yeah. So, what's your favorite genre? Do you have one or many favorite genre? And
Multiple, you can say.
okay,
But mainly, yeah, I love to read crime thriller a lot.
okay,
And Sydney Sheldon is my always the go-to one.
okay.
And I mean, I'm not saying that Agatha Christie, obviously, or Sherlock Holmes. I mean, those are not time bounded or anything, right? Those are eternal. Other than that, anything with a good story. That's all. I just need story.
Uh, from
I am
your
always hungry for story.
okay. So, since you mentioned Agatha Christie, have you read all the 80 novels that she wrote? The murder
Okay, so
mystery?
let me tell you one like funny thing about the Agatha Christie. I read the Agatha Christie Bengali version.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so still now, if I like, I try to read the English one, but I don't know why I feel like the Bengali version is much better than the English one.
Oh,
Don't hate
then,
me, please don't
yeah.
hate me. Um,
Then that
but
means they have
yeah,
done a very just
yes, the
translation.
person who did the translation actually did a wonderful job.
Yeah.
So yeah, earlier when I'm from a Bengali background, or like my educations and all till college, right? Before going to college, everything was in Bengali mainly.
Hmm.
So yeah, I used to read mostly Bengali books. So I read Agatha Christie Bengali version. Okay, don't hate. I read the Harry Potter first three books Bengali version.
And that doesn't matter. A book is a book,
E-
no matter which
No,
language you
some
read it.
people doesn't like the translate one, but I loved it. I mean, not the Harry Potter one, but Agatha Christie, I love the Bengali version more. I don't know why. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's a different topic we need to explore. See, *Sapiens* was translated into so many languages because it was needed, right? So
Yeah, yeah. Like
if
we read Murakami, right? But
yeah,
Murakami is written originally in Japanese,
ah,
but we are reading in English.
correct.
So yeah,
Yeah, so that doesn't matter. You don't have to feel guilty.
yeah.
Okay.
No, but whenever I
Yeah.
told that to
Huh.
any person that
Hmm.
I read the Bengali version or any translated version of these books, and they are like, "Oh, are you from Mars or something?" So yeah,
No, 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 no. That's they are not true readers, bibliophiles.
exactly.
Okay. Yeah, your favorite book which you want to recommend us today to our viewers, to our channel viewers, as well as hub members, whoever is listening to today's episode. So please tell us about the book.
So I just recently finished reading The Blue Sisters by Coco Mellor.
Okay.
I didn't pick it. I am a part of a book club. So this was the book of the month. So I bought it and I read it. And I mean, oh my God, this is something else. I mean, this is a journey, you know. Some books are there, it's not only the story. You can feel the emotions, like your heart breaks, it's all the grief, all the happiness, and you can connect with it. So this is kind of that kind of book. It's a very emotional reading. It was, yeah,
Okay. Okay. Cool. So let's explore the book. First,
yeah.
tell us the story. You can give spoilers. I don't mind. But if you would like to preserve the story or the main plots or the twist, then just give us an overview of what is the story about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, so I don't think that it does have much as a spoiler thing because it is a literary fiction. So I mean, yeah, it's not a crime or something that you can not tell about the ending, right? So it's mainly about four sisters, okay, and the lives of them, how they are connected, and the emotions they have, how they are like by birth or biologically they are same, but they are completely different from each other, though they have the same upbringing and all. It's kind of a story. I feel like it is a plotless book because I would not say it's a plotless in a negative way. I would say that it's plotless because it's mainly focused on the characters, four characters separately. Um, yeah. So I don't know what else to say. You can keep asking me about it. So I think, yeah.
Uh, so, apart from the sisters, are there any characters or
There are many characters. There are
okay?
many characters. Like their parents are involved. Then the obviously when we are talking about sisters or something, sisters has people in their life, right? So there are different characters are there, but the story mainly revolves around those siblings, around the sibling relations. So, do you have sibling? Any?
Yeah, I have a younger brother.
Yeah, yeah. So you are the okay. So you can connect with the elder one.
Yeah.
So this is the beauty of this story. Actually, there are four sisters. Okay, the elder one always being like I'm the dad or I'm the mom of my brother or sisters. I have to be, like I have to parenting. Have the parenting thing and all, and those pressures, uh, on the elder child. You guys
Okay.
will have.
Yeah.
I am the younger one, so I am is like, okay, I will do whatever I want to do, kind of thing. Okay.
Mm.
So, and then there are two more sisters, and there is one more among them, one of the sister who was like the one who actually, you can say that, bond them together, like,
Mm.
right?
Mm.
And then there is the third one. um she is like, okay, kind of like, you can, not the smaller one, not the younger one, not the middle one,
Okay.
so she can bond with everyone. And then life happens to everybody, and then relationship changes and all. But the thing is that when it comes to siblings, I'm mentioning the siblings, not the sister here, because it's not about the sister. I felt like the sister word is used as a, you can say, phrase or something, because it's showing the relations of between the siblings, right? So
Okay.
those bond together, and then the sister who actually used to bond them together, she died.
Oh,
And
okay.
yeah, and then how those three different people from the three different sides of the world, connected together through the same grief, right? So
Okay.
this is about that journey, and it's a beautiful journey. I mean, I think I do cry a lot. Okay, it's very easy for me to cry, but I don't cry by reading a book after reading a book.
Okay.
But I think I remember the last time I cried after reading, The Kite Runner.
Which one? Which one?
The Kite Runner,
Okay.
Khalid Hosseini,
Okay.
right? Yeah, and I didn't dare to read that book again. I mean,
Hmm.
I loved it. I think I remember the story by heart, but I haven't read it again. Normally, I do read my favorite books twice or thrice. I keep reading.
Hmm.
I think this is one of the kind of book that it will be in my heart, but I am scared to read it again because I'm scared to go through that emotion again. It's very emotional book. It's a very beautiful book.
Hmm.
I mean, yeah,
Okay. Yeah. So I had looked up the overview. So guys who are listening, I have not read this book. So my all my questions would be from the point of view of a person who hasn't read this book. So
okay.
when I looked up the logline or overview of this book in GoodReads, that was one of my questions. Like the one of the sisters died or not, because the overview said that the sister is one sister is dead and the other sisters come together.
Yeah, yeah. That's the main thing. That's the main thing of the story, you can say. So, this story is about, as I mentioned already, four sisters, and the names are Avery, Bonnie, uh, Nicky, and one more sister. I forgot the name actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Lucky, right.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Lucky is the smaller one. I'm so sorry.
I am
Uh,
impressed that you remember two names at least.
no, no, yeah, I just recently read it, so yeah, I should remember. So yeah, these four sisters, Avery is the bigger elder one, right, and she is always the one who actually took care of the other three
Hmm.
because of her family, or the thing that mom was working or was not interested in home and all those things. So I think all the kids, like as a kid, me also, I think I had a lot of complaint about my parents, definitely, right?
Hmm.
So those things were there. So every was the one who used to take care of the other three. Lucky was the smallest one, and she's the rebellious one also.
Okay.
And Nicky was the third one who I told you that actually bonded them together. But unfortunately, she died in her 20s. Not even like, yeah. I will come to that point also later, that how she died and why it's been written that way and all. So that's a part of my plan. And then, so they were separated by their profession, by their life. They had their life, they had their, you can say, stories separately and all. And then they used to not to talk to each other because of the ego problems, you can say, or you can say that the distance and all, they outgrown themselves. But one thing I love about, I mean, I want to read the first few lines actually, if you are okay with it.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, so the book actually starts with a very beautiful line that says that a sister is not a friend. I mean, that's a sentence you can say that we will all agree on, but we will not accept that easily, right? Like, my brother is my best friend, my sister is my best friend, or that doesn't happen. Like normally we choose our friend, our best friend.
Mhm.
So the second line I want to read is that you don't choose each other, and there is no figurative period of getting to know other. You are part of each other right from the start. Look at an umbilical cord, tough, sinuous, unlovely, yet essential. I mean, such a beautiful line it is, right?
Mhm.
So that is the difference between a sister and a friend. So this is the first few lines, like I just read. Be- So, so yeah, this thing. Okay, so let's come back to the story again. And there are some parts, different parts of their life. Everything was going good and they are doing good in their life, and suddenly they came to know that Nikki died. And that is that is the thing. And there is a thing, I mean, a line or quote, you can say, it's written that as long as you're alive, it's never too late to be found. I mean, this book can be the hub of some good quotes, truly.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and from there, they actually came back home. They, because they wanted to stop their home to be like sold. Okay, that's the point when they came back from the different parts of the world. And then again, coming back or going back home is, I think, it's one of the hardest part, right? We are out of home for such a long time. So going back there together, like keeping your egos, your emotions, your everything aside and being together again. So yeah, this is the journey of that book.
Yeah, it's definitely a interesting story, and
It's a very emotional story, I would
okay,
say.
okay.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, Going forward, so
Yeah.
it's about character. So the next question,
Yes.
obviously, I would ask is whether it's story oriented, incident oriented, or characters oriented. So it's evident that from what you have narrated, that it's character oriented,
Yes, completely.
and
Yes.
given that it is evoking emotions from the readers. So, uh, what is the role of writing? Like, how good is the writing in this book?
It's very easygoing. I have heard that this writer has another book. I haven't read that,
Hmm.
and that was not so good as per the review, right? But when I read this one, I feel like it's very easygoing. It doesn't have too much of like hard or complex words or anything, but it describes each and every emotion. You can say that, and which I didn't like sometimes, because sometimes I love to imagine or that emotion in my head and I want to create my own picture of it. But the writing is easygoing. I wouldn't say it's very hi-fi, but it's easygoing, but understandable and lovable, you can say.
Okay. What about the narrative? So, is it happening on a linear time scale, like in the contemporary, present, or is it switching to the childhood of
Yes, it's
Nikki?
switching. It's switching between, because it's like again, it's a like character-based stories, right? So when you are talking about the elder sister, like whatever the decision she is making in her like recent life, it does have some influence of the past. So there will be like some stories from the past as well. So this kind of like switching is happening during the stories. Yes.
Okay, so who's your favorite character?
I don't know. I don't think that I can explain one character as the favorite, but I did connect with the Avery, like the elder one, as well as the Lucky, the younger one, like two poles apart character with myself. So
Okay,
yeah.
so apart from the sisters, you mentioned there are so many characters, right? So in the supporting characters, who is your favorite character?
I like to tell you about that, I have to tell a little bit about the like you can say the stories about the sisters, right? Because
Yeah,
the different,
please explain.
yeah, different part of their life. So this book actually talks about a lot about some very serious issues also. Okay, so one of the issue is the drug addiction, and every being the elder one always like I don't know if I didn't understand that emotion that everyone is actually looking after her, like being the perfect one or something. But she always had that impression that I have to set the benchmark and all, and those pressure actually leads her to the addiction part and how she came out from it and became a successful lawyer and living in a lavish home in London and all those things. But the one of the most interesting character I felt like it's not too big, but yeah, I like that about Lucky's life. It's in Lucky's life because she was a supermodel, okay, like a very famous model, and she used to drink a lot, and she had a friend in Paris. She had a friend, and we all know that French people are a little bit, you can say, nosy kind of, right?
Hmm.
So yeah, she had a friend, and it's a very small character, but the way she talks, uh, in Hindi you can say mufat. Whatever she feels, you just outspoken. You can say, but I don't like the word
Straightforward,
outspoken.
brutally honest,
Yeah, it's not only being honest. It's about like
rude as well.
brood. Yeah, yeah, exactly. But sometimes you need that in your life.
Yeah, straightforwardness.
Exactly. Yeah. So I like that character. It's a very small character as compared to the others, but yeah, I did like the character there, and I felt like the father described in that story,
Hmm.
and I don't know why I feel so similar to my father. So there is a line or something has been said that whatever the four sisters or mothers were doing at home when their father is not at home or at work, whenever the father used to come back, they always like be the good girls kind of thing, right?
Hmm.
Started reading or studying and all those things. So I mean, me and my brother also used to do that. Like whenever we know that okay, it's time our father to come back, we were like the like bestest children he can have. And then the life actually used to depends on the mood of the father. That's, I think, most of Indian
Yeah,
children have,
yeah.
right? Yeah. so that's the part I really related a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, and fortunately I have talked to the author also, like
Yeah.
virtually,
Yeah,
obviously.
we will touch that. So please remind me,
Yeah,
we'll touch it.
yeah.
Uh,
So why I mentioned that, I did ask some questions,
okay.
right? I did ask some question, and I came to know that most of the time what I feel that whatever I am writing or the most of the writers is writing is like whatever they are seeing the stories from the people around them, but whatever happened in that book never happened to her.
Okay.
So this part I felt very interesting. Like the characters are so crystal clear here about their emotions, about their journey. So yeah, it's a very uh, you can say it's an awesome storytelling, giving that you didn't experience any of it. So yeah,
Yeah. So, to the audience, actually, she presented this book in our book club. I am not sure whether it was online or the
online,
online. Yeah.
I
Okay.
think. Yeah.
So, and I did ask this question. So let
Yes,
me
you
ask it.
asked, and I have prepared that. I know what you are about to ask. So
Okay.
okay,
So
so
let
that
me ask it again for the
Yeah.
audience as well. So why specifically blue color and blue
Yeah.
sister? Is there a theme behind this based on life or the stage at which these sisters, or like what's the reason they kept blue word?
So you asked me that question earlier also, and I couldn't answer it properly. So
Hmm.
I gave it a thought, a lot actually.
Okay.
That what can be the reason, right?
Uh,
So what I feel that when we are coming about talking about sisters or siblings, it's like lovey-dovey kind of thing. It will always be love and goods and all those things, right? And the color of love and the affection is what? Red,
okay.
right?
Correct.
But mostly whenever we okay, so I recently watched that movie, I think Inside Out.
Oh yeah, that's animation. Good. Very good
Yeah,
movie. Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So that is about the emotion, right?
Correct.
So yeah, have you seen that movie? I mean, what's that movie?
I Inside Out have watched. Inside Out second part I haven't
That's
watched.
fine. If you watch the first one, you know the sadness.
Yes, yes, yeah.
What's the color of that?
I
The
I
sadness.
am not
It's a
100%
blue.
technically sure, but based on what are we talking, it's blue.
Yeah, it's blue. So I feel like that this story is about emotion and grief, you can say, right?
Okay.
And when it comes to blue, you will not feel about love or something, but you feel a strong connection which builds that the relation of the siblings, between the siblings, that strong bond. It's not always love, it's not always hate. I mean, you can hate each other, but you can just abuse each other a lot. But if someone else is actually abusing your sister or your siblings or your brother, you
Hmm.
will stand up.
Hmm.
You will not allow any other person to talk shits about your sibling. So I felt like that it's a combination of both. That it's a mixed emotion. I mean, sisterhood is not only about love. So for that, that's the color, and it's a sad story. I will not say the ending because whether it is sad or happy, that's please read that. I am applying your technique.
Uh,
Um,
yeah, yeah.
but yeah,
So
I
you have
feel
to read the
that
book.
yeah,
So yeah, I mean, well, let's take a diversion here. So I am a filmmaker, and last year we were. I used to give this task to my assistant directors: color psychology, explore color, and what's the
exactly. Yeah,
significance of
yeah,
color.
yeah.
Green is something, you know, on the fertility, it stands for
Yes,
what do you
yes.
say? Green.
Because of the nature,
Yeah,
right?
but
Whenever you see any natural thing, it's the
Huh,
green.
huh. But
Yeah.
also, if you see vegetables and fruits, if it rots, it will turn green. And if
Mhm.
you see cartoons, if you
Because
observe,
of the mold,
yeah,
that fungus.
because
Yeah,
of if you've seen cartoon and all, they will show the color of rotten
yeah,
food in
yeah.
green. So I kind of guessed that Blue Sisters could be named blue because of that blue. If you see, it's a positive color in one sense, but
Yeah.
on the emotions, and if you see in between relationship, then it's definitely something going wrong, or
And if you
something.
see the cover of the book, right? So you see the eyes of a girl there, and it's very blue. And whenever like that blue color, I think it's like you have cried a lot. Okay, after that, how your eyes
Oh,
become.
okay.
This kind of picture it is.
It's very
So
symbolic.
yeah, I don't know if I am imagining it because I gave a lot of thought about this question, a
Okay,
lot.
okay.
So maybe I am like, yeah, and the background is also kind of the shades of blue.
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
So yeah,
So this is what is required at this age, because if you watch a movie or read a book or basically witness something, what you take from it, and does it make
yes,
you read more? So that's the
yes, true.
question, and decoding stuff. So I'm not sure whether after reading the novel you would have observed all these things, like the.
No, I didn't. I really didn't because I couldn't. If you remember, I couldn't answer it the way I did today. I'm not sure that it's good or bad,
Okay.
but I think I have. Uh, yeah, I have noticed a little things a lot more after your question actually, because it's a very basic question, right? How the title actually relates to the story. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very common and basic question, and yeah, and when you have a like direct titles, there are two or three kinds of title, right? That you can just see the title and you can imagine that what is happening here.
Hmm.
But then there are some titles you really need to know the story to match with the title.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think this title is the second kind of.
This is really good. Like these podcasts, especially I'm doing with guest speakers, are really productive. Only yesterday I came to know that Nolan farmed a cornfield just to shoot that first scene of Interstellar.
Oh.
I was shocked. Like he did farming, he grew a cornfield, and then he shot the scene. So, and today we are talking about the significance and the theme of Blue in Blue Sisters, and
Yeah.
we have decoded a lot of elements that normal readers or people tend to not observe. Okay, now coming to your or let's save this author meet for the next segment. So we'll take a
Okay.
breeze. It's been sometimes serious conversation has been going on. So let's take the fun activities now. Let's take a breeze. So my question would be so you watch movies, right?
Yeah, I love stories, so yeah, I do watch movie a
Okay,
lot.
so you could you should now pick four actors from Indian industry.
Indian.
Yeah, Indian film industry.
Okay.
If this Blue Sisters novel were to
Wow.
be adapted to a movie, let's say any language or the what do you say the it's Bollywood is predominant across India, right? So
Mhm.
if it were
Mhm.
made into a Bollywood movie and you had to choose the actors, whom would you choose?
So, okay, that's a big question. I need to choose a fourth sister. That is the most important part.
I'm just curious whom you're gonna make it die.
That's. I think that will be easy. What his name? Prakash Raj
No, the
can be the
sister who
daddy.
dies.
Oh, the dies. Okay, sorry. I heard about father, daddy. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, let's go one by one, right? From the elder one, like the
Okay.
responsible, and then
Avery, right?
yeah, every, and she messed her life in between, and then she came back and all. So it's a very serious kind of motherly kind of nature. Um, okay, that's a hard one. Okay, I want to tell the youngest one. Um, what's the name of the sister of Shruti Hassan? Kamal Hassan's the
Shruti
daughter.
Hassan and oh my God, you should be
And
knowing
that
this.
that girl, I love her
Her
eyes.
sister, right?
Yeah, yeah, the sister, not Shruti Hassan, the sister of her.
I know, I know. I got you. I'll get her name.
Yeah, so that will be lucky because I felt like the characters portrayed in that book,
Akshara
right?
Hassan.
Yeah, yeah, Akshara. I think she will be marvelous in that.
She'll be
And
Nicky, is it?
she- no, Lucky, the youngest one,
Okay,
the
Lucky.
model one, supermodel.
Okay, okay. Huh.
Okay, because of the physique and all, and especially that carefree characters, right?
Hmm.
So I love the way she dressed and all, and very careless, very carefree kind of. So yeah, and then again it came homely kind of thing. So
Hmm.
that one, I love Deepika Padukone a lot.
Okay.
So I want to see her somewhere. I don't know where. So we can go. Okay, let's go Deepika for Avery, the elder one, because it's about the age also, as well as the motherly kind of nature. Have you
Okay.
watched Piku?
No, I watched trailer of it, not the movie.
Okay, okay. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I love that motherly character of the daughter for I mean, so yeah, Avery is that. The person died. Nicky, she was one of the like most beautiful sister other than Lucky, and she was a teacher. She was an English lit teacher,
Hmm.
and she was like very homely and used to do all the like housework, then school. She used to love children and very calm in nature. So we can go. Hmm.
I hope there are enough actresses.
Exactly. I don't know. I can't find it.
What about Karina Kapoor?
Ah, she's no.
She won't fit in, okay.
Oh no. I used to love to tell about Aishwarya Rai, but she can't fit now, right? About like as per the age of the characters in that book.
Yeah.
Um,
Alia Bhatt, Priyanka Chopra.
Priyanka Chopra can be Bonnie because Bonnie was a wrestler,
Okay.
boxer actually. So okay, let's go for yeah. That's a good Samantha. Uh,
Samantha for
I Samantha for
only Bonnie and Nicky is left out.
yeah Nicky. Samantha is for Nicky.
Okay.
Yeah, and she is very pretty, but Lucky is the prettiest one. Um, and for Bonnie, yeah, we can go with the Priyanka Chopra because she's the strongest one, like physically, I'm saying. And she did Mary Kom.
Okay. So
Yeah,
Priyanka Chopra's.
Bonnie, the second one.
Okay, let me repeat it for you.
Yeah, okay,
Akshara Hasan as Lucky,
smallest one.
Deepika Padukone as Avery, the
Every,
eldest
yeah,
one, and then
yeah,
Samantha as Nikki,
hmm,
Priyanka Chopra as Bonnie.
yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Perfect
good.
choice.
If
Good.
Bollywood or any other Indian film industry were to
Yes,
make Blue
yeah.
Sisters, please come and
And
watch this
that
episode.
father has to be Prakash Raj.
Okay.
I mean, when you know Prakash Raj, right? Now think that how the father's character can be.
I mean, Amitabh also could fit in that
Amit
role.
no, Amitabh Bachchan is too
Old.
too sweet.
Oh, okay. He needs to be a kind of strict person, you're
Strict
saying.
father. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. What about this? What's his name? Nawazuddin Shah?
No.
I don't think
Nawaz, no.
there
That
is
maturity, that fatherly
Siddiq.
thing, right?
Nawazuddin Siddiq.
Yeah, Nawazuddin Siddiqui. That fatherly thing, like I don't
Hmm.
know. I told you right
Amir Khan
that
also can fit in. He already played such a character in Dangal.
Dangal. Yeah, if he get that kind of physique again, then we can go for it.
Okay, okay. We are
Yeah,
dwelling deep into the fun activity.
yeah,
Let's jump
yeah,
out of it now. Okay, so interesting, uh, proud fact about Snigdha. As she mentioned, she's part of other book clubs as well, along with our book club. She's a core team
yeah.
member who co-host and organizes our book club. Basically, she's maintaining our book club along with me. So,
Okay, that's a huge
yeah.
compliment,
So,
I would take.
yeah, what I was saying is, she gets the chance to meet the author. So she has met the author of Silent Patient, and this is her second, I guess. I'm not
No, this
sure
is the
whether you
third
have
one.
met any other author.
Yeah, another one.
Which
Like
book was it?
Chris Whitaker, I think. Yeah, that writer of the Color of the Dark.
Okay. Is it girls only book club or what?
No, no, no. It's a crossword book club actually.
Okay.
You just go in the Insta and I think they ask some questions and all to get entry,
Hmm.
and then you just read the regular whatever the books they are giving for the month and all, and you will get the chance to talk.
Okay, cool. So
Yeah,
she has actually virtually met the author of Blue Sisters, Coco Mellors.
yeah.
So let's talk about that experience meeting the author virtually. And my curious, stupid question would be: did you ask her like what's the meaning of Coco Mellors? Any special meaning for Coco Mellors? Your name is
No,
unique, like, just like that.
I didn't, but yes, one of the I mean member
Yeah,
asked.
please talk about the experience of meeting that
She
author.
answered very like cutely. You can say that ask my parents,
Okay.
but I don't know about it.
Okay.
So yeah,
Yeah, how was it, and what question you asked, and how long did the meet go? What all?
the meet normally goes for the like 1 hour or 1 hour 15 minutes, right? So this that I mean meet actually being hosted by Twinkle Khanna, um,
Oh,
our Bollywood star.
famous
Yeah,
personality. Yeah.
as well as writer as well, right? So she is the host, and then I mean, normally she asks some questions like that, like we are having some conversation. She has that with the writer, whatever the guest writer will come that day, and then one by one, we will put the question in the chat, and then one by one they will allow us to open the mic, and you can ask and talk to the writer.
Hmm.
So. So this is the first time I think I have made some female writer. The
Hmm.
other two were men, right?
Okay.
So I was very excited about it because when I talk like when was the meet was, I couldn't finish the book that time. I was only the half through it. So I didn't know the ending also.
Hmm.
So later, so I was very excited about that. Okay, I mean, first time the female writer, and I always had a thing in my mind that I don't know why I used to feel, or now also I feel that female writers actually can portray the emotions in better way than the main writer.
Hmm.
I'm not saying all, obviously, it's my perspective,
Hmm.
but mostly as it is an emotional book. So the first thing in my mind was like, um, how did you come to this kind of idea that you will write this kind of emotional book?
Hmm.
So that was my first question about it. And she I mean explained very well that whatever the characters she wrote, though she didn't experience it in her life, but somewhere somehow, I mean, it's all woman character, right? So
Hmm.
it was very easy for her to write about the emotion. And then in the book, the Nicky died, I told, right? So Nicky died because of endometriosis. So endometriosis is a, like, you can
Disorder.
say that girl disease kind of, and it's very much neglected. Okay, we all know that. I mean, female bleeds, and when we have the period, we have cramp. It's a very common idea, but some pains are so deep, and then people actually don't acknowledge it. It's like, okay, it's period pain, how does that matter? But
Hmm.
that pain also can lead to death.
Okay.
So yeah, there is a like huge description about, I would not say description, about the feelings, that pain, and how she died, and how we all neglect ourselves as a female. Like, we don't think about it. I mean, if you are having pain, you can have painkiller. Doctor will also say that have three painkillers, but that's not normal, right? So I feel like these things she wrote beautifully because she is a woman.
Hmm.
I mean, I don't think that any male writer can write that emotionally.
Okay.
And one more, like, very unique thing actually, she changed the ending of the
Okay.
story. Earlier, she had some different ending.
Hmm.
Okay. So again, my question was, so I read that also in some interview, obviously. So I did a little research, and so I asked that, why did you change it, and what was the earlier one? So the earlier one was a very sad ending. Very sad ending. I'm not saying that this is a happy ending or sad ending,
Hmm.
but the earlier one was like very negative ending, right? So yeah. So I asked that, why did you feel that you need to change it? So she had gone through a lot, because she took, I think, 2 years or something to write this book only. I'm not talking about the publishing. And she had gone through a lot during this time. Like, she had miscarriages, two miscarriages during writing this time. So when the second time it happened, obviously I mean, I can feel it, right? I mean, she was completely broken. So her emotion actually, like, you can say that, came into as the product of the, as right as a writer.
Hmm.
So she wrote the ending, and she wrote the ending, like, before, I think she actually built the characters properly also,
Okay.
because of the thing she was going through. And then again she got pregnant, and now she has a beautiful baby boy. And then she wrote this line that, as long as you are alive, you will have the chance, or you will have the bond to it, something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah, so being, I mean, she felt that magic feelings of the motherhood. And I think she clearly told, I think that that happiness made me think the life again, rethink about the life again. And she changed the ending of the story. So yeah.
I'm so fascinated in hearing this. I kind of feel that she should release the first draft, the sad ending one, because Titanic or
Yes,
1984.
yes,
Why
yes.
are they a classic? Because
Because of the sad ending.
yeah, because sad
Yeah.
ending, right? So it's reality, and that's how it will be in the real
Again,
world.
I'm not saying that it is a happy ending.
Okay,
I don't want to spoil it,
okay.
but I also don't, I mean, no one knows what was the earlier ending was, but she only told that it was very negative. And when, so that, I think that we are right we women are, we run by our emotion, and our emotions actually controlled by hormones,
Hmm.
and that is not during that 5 days or 7 days of the period time.
Okay.
Okay, that's a whole life,
Hmm.
different phases of the month and different different emotions.
Hmm.
And now think, if you are actually putting all those emotions in word,
Hmm.
so how fluctuative it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this part alone has fascinated me. I was okay. It's Blue Sisters book. It's about four sisters, so it's gonna be on my bucket list. I'm gonna read. But then when you reveal that it had a very sad ending, and then the author changed it, I'm like, okay, I need to read the story now. Okay. Moving on towards the closure.
Yeah.
First, from your perspective, what do you like about the book, and uh, what did you not like about the book? So that would obviously cover why anyone should read this book, right? So the first question is like, what are your favorite aspects, and what were the stuff that you were spellbound or captivated about the book? So the things you love about the book, and then things that from the way you have talked, I could say that you have very less points on the second question. So yeah, please
Yeah.
elaborate.
Okay, so I loved the book. I not only liked the book, I loved the book because I'm a very emotional person, truly. And here, all the four sisters, it's not only the sisters or the characters been actually described it, right? So it's all about the different emotions. And like in a family, when you are living in a family or something, you always have conflict. I
Hmm.
mean, it's not possible that you don't have any conflict in your family. But then again, when there will be like any danger or any tough time, a truly true family will come together. That's this book about, first of all.
Okay.
So this emotion, and yes, as a woman, I felt I could connect with that emotions very much, right? So, and obviously sibling. So I have a brother. um, Nowadays we fight a lot, right? Sometimes we don't talk to each other and also, but somehow I feel like if I am dying, I think he will come to see me. I have that trust on him, whatever it is, right? So that kind of bond is actually sibling about. So so that is the best part I like. And about the writing, as I mentioned, it's a very easygoing writing, right? It's not hard to read. I mean, if you are a fast reader, you can read this book within 2 or 3 days.
Okay.
Okay, but it's not about the words, it's about the lines or the sentences or the storytelling which actually uh, make impression in your heart, and you will not never forget about it. So this is kind of that. I mean, you will get a lot of quotes from that. I mean, your Insta stories or Facebook stories will fill with the emotional quotes from this book. So this is this kind of emotional book. And what I didn't like about the book, that each and every emotion is being described. Again, the same point. What I liked, the same thing I didn't like about it. Because I love, as a reader, I really love to imagine the emotion. Otherwise, what's the difference between watching a movie and reading a book? I mean, there should be a different version of crying. I mean, I cry in a way, you cry in a way. So it's up to the person who is reading it.
Okay.
But when someone is actually telling how you are crying, means you are actually putting a picture in your head. and the writer is putting a picture in your head that okay, this supposed to look like.
Hmm.
So that much I didn't like.
Okay.
So I think it's the same point, the emotion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Final three questions. Okay.
Okay.
I just had two questions, but I saw three. Let's try to make. Okay, I'll try to make.
Okay.
The first question would be uh, so you I just picked it up from what you told. So you just said that each character represents an emotion, right? So I will tell you the character name. Tell me the emotion of them. Okay. Uh,
Any emotion because it's a journey of the character. So
Yeah, so basically, what I perceive or comprehend here is
okay, understood.
every
Yeah.
character is
Okay.
based on an emotion, I guess. Am
Yes,
I right?
yes, yes. Yeah,
So
yeah.
they might exhibit different emotion across the
Yes.
storyline,
Story. Yeah.
but then
Hmm.
if you see, Lucky would be of one nature. So I'm asking the nature, not just emotion. So how
Yeah. Okay.
nature, like if you are an introvert, I am an introvert who learned to be extrovert. So that kind of thing. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
First, the eldest sister, Avery. What's her nature or emotion?
Always being try to be a hero.
Okay, so being in the spotlight, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the second sister, Bonnie,
Bonnie is the fighter.
fighter. Okay, brave,
Yeah.
courageous.
Yes.
Then the middle sister, Lucky.
No, Lucky is the smallest one. Nicky is
Okay,
the middle one who died.
uh,
Nicky is kind of homely,
okay, homely, caring.
simple, homely, kind of
Okay, Lucky.
rebellious,
Okay,
carefree,
okay,
and sometimes mischievous also.
okay, okay. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
And which character did you resonate with? Was it one of the Blue Sisters or a different supporting character?
It's a mixed of
All the characters,
no, mixed of the elder and the youngest one, eldest and the
Avery
youngest
and
one.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it has all the elements of keep thinking about it, like even after 1 or 2 weeks or 2 3 months
Yes.
later
Yes.
you
Yes.
would still think about it. I mean, I am just talking about what do you say, this book with you, and I haven't even read, and I think the names are so attractive, like Avery, Bonnie, Lucky, Nicky. It's gonna stick in my
Yeah.
mind for a while. So I can imagine, like, for a reader who read this book, it would be more enriched, right? So
Yeah.
cool. Uh, Coming back to your experience, you are camera shy, and
Yes.
the very first, I'm not sure whether you have done any podcast with anybody else.
Never. Never.
Okay, so this is the first ever podcast,
Yes.
voice only podcast in your
Yeah.
lifetime. So, how does it feel, and what was your experience?
So at the beginning, like before we started this podcast, you mentioned that first few minutes you will be like concerned about its live hour, and then again when we will go with the time, you will forget about it, right? And now I understand it that what you were trying to say. So yeah, I mean now you are telling me that it's a podcast and all. So now again that concern is coming back that how I am how my pronunciation is, or all those things are coming. But during the time I really had a good time because yeah, I love to talk about what I read.
Mhm.
So yeah, it's a very good opportunity, and thank you so much for asking me that. Otherwise I don't think that I would have asked you to take do a podcast with me. I mean, yeah.
I mean, I have been on that stage or state, whatever you call. So even maybe in college time or when I came to Bangalore, so I have been nervous when I enter a new group or company. So I know how it feels, and I am also
Yeah.
overthinker, and I am an introvert, inherently introverted. I just tell this everywhere, right? I act as an extrovert, and people believe that I'm extrovert.
Exactly, exactly. And the point is that we introvert talks a lot if we get the correct topic we feel,
Yeah, correct.
right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. And the correct people, obviously,
Yeah.
not to all.
Cool. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm happy that you feel highly positive, and glad that you
Yes.
came and talked. I want to end the episode with some quotes from the book. Have you bookmarked any quotes, or do you have like 1 or 2 quotes right now? Or you can just
Uh,
read the first few lines.
no, I have. So I when you told me about the podcast, that's why I took a little time
Hmm.
and I made sure that I have something in my hand.
Okay, you can read
So
3 quotes.
I already read two lines, right?
That's fine. I mean, to end the
Acha,
episode on a high
okay.
note, we'll end it with quotes. And the
So
quotes
that
means lines from the book.
yeah,
That's
tell
what
me.
I mean.
Yeah, obviously. So yeah, so the beautiful line I loved about the that one, that as long as you are alive, it is never too late to be found.
Okay, nice.
Okay, yeah, and another one was that being, I mean, being an elder sister, Avery always had the tendency to be the mother.
Okay.
Like elder people, especially the siblings, always do that, I think.
Mm,
And the most beautiful one I felt, like, think this way, that like a mother has four children, right? And they had reproduced because they wanted a boy, but they had four girls,
okay.
right? And three of them are completely like always out, like far away from the home,
Mm,
and one of them was with living with the mother, taking care of her, and like the perfect daughter, you can say,
mm,
as per the society mentioned, right? And suddenly the perfect daughter actually died.
okay.
So how the mother can feel, I'm not saying that mother's love is more or less for the children, but somehow it is different for each children, right?
Mm,
So when they came back, uh, like the three other three sisters came back,
mm,
um, there was a time when their mother mentioned one thing, that I'm just reading, quote unquote.
yeah.
And for my remaining daughters, as you leave on far after their loss, that is what I wish for you. Go lightly, go lightly, go lightly. I mean,
Okay.
okay.
Very sweet and
Yeah.
bitter at the same time.
Ex- I mean, yeah. So I was reading the reviews also. I mean, before I bought that book, and one person actually mentioned very, like, two words, uh, heartwarming as well as heartbreaking at the same time.
Yeah, I mean that's the most fascinating storytelling. It happens in movies also. They
Yeah, yeah.
developed and registered Iron Man as the most favorite Marvel hero, and then they made him die.
So,
So
exactly why they do that, I don't know. I hate it so much. But that's the beauty of the, I think.
that's a technique, basically. That's a
Yeah.
technique. So
Okay.
you get what do you say, hooked or emotionally attached to a world or story when your favorite character dies or something bad happens to
So
them.
true. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I would
Yeah.
say I guess in the 20 episodes, so this is episode number 20 for books category
O-
alone across live
Okay.
streams and
Wow.
uploads.
Okay.
Uh, I have come across so many books, especially from the guest speakers and whatever I have read, and I have done solo podcast as well, right? So
Okay.
the unique books that I've heard, one was there was a meetup participant. I used to schedule Starbucks podcast events, and people used to come and attend. So from meetup,
Okay.
so there
Okay.
was a girl called. Her name was. See, I remember her name also, Nilina, and the book she
Okay.
recommended was Piranesi. So that
Wow.
was one unique book I've still not read, but the way she
What's
described
the
the
name
world,
you mentioned?
Piranesi.
Piranesi.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
like a fantasy happening inside the
Okay.
ocean
Okay.
and kind of fantasy basically. So the way she described it and the unique storytelling and the world building in it was is in my mind still now. After that
Hmm.
book, this is the book that I would say which has been very impressive and would
Wow.
tend to stick. Blue Sister, the name itself very attractive. It tends to stick with you, and then the
Yeah.
characters, the storytelling, and the way you explained it, it's a great podcast for any book
I
lovers.
hope you liked it.
Yeah, I like the podcast, and the way you explained it is also good. You came prepared, I guess. I hope I came prepared.
Yeah,
Now I feel,
I give half an hour at least.
yeah,
Like,
now I
yeah.
feel guilty that I didn't come up with the topic. Usually, I told you, right, since it's your first
Yeah.
podcast, I wanted to
Yeah.
keep it
Yeah.
very simple. But if I had known, I would have looked up Blue Sister, and I would have found like we could have explored siblings in life, what role they play, and then we could have jumped into the book.
Okay,
So
we will have that in our book club.
yeah, so
We can, yeah.
yeah, I hope you will return for more books episode, and then you are planning to do something for our channel, so you are going to take a new avatar. So yeah, hope
Yeah.
that wish also comes true. And thank you so much for appearing on a podcast. And audience, I believe you enjoyed listening to this unique and peculiar novel, Blue Sisters, contemporary fiction, coming of
That's a very
age.
good adjective to add.
Yeah, it's I looked it up. So it's a contemporary
Yeah,
fiction, coming of age, woman author, Coco Mellors, unique name, author name as well as title name. So definitely you
yeah.
should go for it. Do read it. I'm gonna put it in my bucket list and probably read it sooner. And so yeah, I'll catch you in another live stream, video or podcast. I'm signing off with Snigdha. Uh,
Thank you. Thank you
yeah,
so much.
let me
Good
play
night.
the hub card and
Yeah.
end it.
Yes.